Hello everybody, my name is Kyle and welcome to the channel. This is The Conservative Take. Here we take culture, TV, movies, news, and politics and filter it to you the right way. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. And also, if you want to help us, you can also click that join button and find out how you can do that. In this particular video, guys, I'm going to give you my thoughts of how the election can play out today. And this is not really my opinion, okay? I'm compiling polls that I trust and have been accurate, like Trafalgar Group and also Rasmussen in terms of the popular vote, and even IBD tip poll, which I'm going to talk about in a second here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these and click off the particular states that these polls and organizations have in their latest numbers said they're going to win. And if they're accurate, then that should be accurate for this as well. So I'm basing it off of that. I'm not a pollster. I was on Red Eagle Politics, and he really got into the weeds about different counties and all that in precincts. I'll let the pollsters do that. So if I find people who are good, I'll just go off them and recommend it. But I'll put them together into one poll here or one map to show the likelihood of the outcome. If you saw my last video, you would have seen that there's a couple scenarios where some states that can get counted after the fact. You can check that out. It's called What Trump Needs to Do to Get to 270 and How the Democrats Plan to Cheat. That's up there right now if you'd like to check that out. All right, so let's get started. So first of all, let's look at the IBD tip poll that came out just today. And here it is here. So in the bottom here it says Biden at 48.8 to Trump's 45.6. That's the overall top line. But what I find interesting is if you look at the Hispanic vote, this is the internals. Trump is leading Hispanics to Biden by over 2 points. Incredible, right? And he has Trump leading independents at 45.6. That's been a jump that's been moving upward. And he has the rural vote at 67.1 to Biden's 30.2. And the black vote at 12.9, basically 13%. At Biden's 80%. Now, as you know, if you've seen these videos before in this channel, you know anything over 8 is gravy. That's what Trump got last time. But 12, 13 is phenomenal, okay? And anything above that is really good. And so that's really difficult for Democrats to overcome, especially when a lot of the black votes are going to be pulling for Biden. So if they pull a lot of black votes, they have to pull even more to make up that difference because they're coming in at 4 or 5% higher in this case than they would have normally gotten. But it gets better. Let's look at what happened last time. This is with Hillary, okay? Same poll, same time frame. Hillary, they had her up 1. We had Biden up 3. Which, by the way, the 3 for state for the IBD is going to be within the margin of error. Hispanics with Hillary had them at 23 for Trump, 39 for Hillary. Independents, 39 for Trump, 31 for Hillary. In this case here, we see that Trump still has the independents. He got more percentage points for independents, even though the gap is smaller. And also we have the rural vote at 58, which was low then for Trump. I mean, considering today where it's now at 67%. So, and blacks, again, we mentioned this at 8%. Again, about 5 points higher. And so why they have him up 3 points, I don't know, but it's within the margin of error, so I really don't care. What I really care about is the internals. So when I talk about states like Nevada, Arizona, Florida, you understand where I'm coming from on this because I may inject some opinions here. But again, I'm basing it off of Trafalgar Group mainly and the popular vote. I'm going to take some tiebreakers there and throw in Rasmussen's where he has Biden up 1, which means they think Biden will win the popular vote by about 1%. All right, and by the way, last time they had Hillary winning the popular vote by 2%, 2.1%, and she won by that much. So they were right on the money there as well. All right, so enough of that stuff. Let's dive in right here. And again, so what I have here is the map for the Electoral College for today. Everything in color is going to be for that respective party where we're considering safe. Whether it's light or dark, it doesn't matter. If it's lighter than the other colors, it's because it's less likely, I think, to go. And that's where some of my opinion is going to come from. All right, so red means Trump, blue means Biden. Let's kick it out here. So let's go to Nevada, first of all, because we saw a poll today from the Trafalgar Group, which basically had Trump up 2 from where he was before to slightly leading Biden by about half a percentage point. And so Nevada is now trending. It's been trending for Trump for a long time. So I'm going to color that in a really light pink here. And let's go over to Georgia, where that's already colored in. But there's a poll here today that came out by the same group that has them up 4 in Georgia. And I'm going to pull this up here so I can say this so you guys can see that the information here is coming directly from a group that has the most accurate battleground projections. So right here we had Georgia at 49.7, 45.4. We're considering that can be safe for Trump, and Nevada at 49.1 for 48.7. I'm sorry, 48.4 for Biden. We have that, and then it has a poll that came out today for Florida at 49.4 for Trump, 47.3. A lot of polls are showing Trump doing well in Florida. I think he would carry that as a likely for Florida based on what we're seeing with the early voting and how Trump is doing really, really well in the southern part with Broward and Dade in terms of relationships. He's actually leading in Palm Beach County in early voting, and he's actually like a couple percentage points behind in Miami-Dade County. And the Republicans have a lot more in the bank to come to bear in terms of in-person voting today versus the vote by mail, which pretty much cannibalized a lot of the Democrat votes. So in Florida, we're going to see maybe 2 to 3 ratio for Republicans to Democrats voting. It should be a huge turnout, and I think he will win Florida by a couple of percentage points. Let's keep going here. So the next poll that came out was Pennsylvania. He's been tracking positively in Pennsylvania all evening. The RCP average is down within the margin of error there. The betting odds for the Barris poll has 3-1 betting odds going to Trump as well. A lot of movement in Pennsylvania recently. A lot of people are upset with the fracking issues, and Trafficker Group has Pennsylvania at 47.8 for Trump and 45.9. Now, I'm going to leave Pennsylvania off here for a reason, simply because of the voting that can happen after the fact. But just for the sake of argument for now, we'll just color it in now just so we'll have a number. No, we'll keep it off because I want to show you something, guys. We'll keep it off. I'll show you something in a second here. North Carolina, I think North Carolina's going to be a couple percentage points higher than Florida because the early voting is very similar in terms of turnout, and the black numbers are down in North Carolina, where North Carolina relies heavily on the black turnout. So we're going to color North Carolina as also likely Trump. All right, let's go up to Arizona. See what poll we have here for that. Actually, let's go to Ohio. That's already covered there. They had a poll there came out today. That's 49.2 for Trump, 44.4 for Biden. That's going to be a safe seat for Trump. Michigan has been moving further and further in the Trump column. Now it has them at Trump at 48.3 and Biden at 45.8. So we're going to color Michigan in simply because of where it's at, and it's such a volatile state. We're going to keep that at leans Trump, but at 3 points here, if they're as accurate as they were before, that should be no problem. And North Carolina, we mentioned that. He leads North Carolina, Trump that is, 48.6 to 46.5. And that's the most recent polls that have come out. Arizona has also been doing really well, and that seems to be a safe seat for Trump. Maricopa County has been coming out strong for Trump, and it looks like that's going to be a safe seat. It has here that he is up 48.9 to 46.4. That is Trump, that is. So we're going to color Arizona in again as a lean there because that's been kind of back and forth. And so right now we're left down to about a couple states here. Now I'm going to interject some opinions here. I think Trump will win the 2nd district of Maine by a few percentage points. I think he'll also win the 2nd district of Nebraska by a couple. He went there this week, and I think that would help shore that up. Again, my opinion here, New Hampshire, I think that is going to be a lean Democrat, so we're going to leave that there. He didn't win it last time, so I'm going to give Biden the benefit of the doubt there. That could easily flip. Trump lost that by about 3,000 votes last time. All right, at least Minnesota here. Again, Minnesota, not seeing a lot of data on Minnesota. It is moving, but I'm going to put that as lean Biden as well. And now we're at 226 for Biden and 282 for Trump. So he's already there in terms of the Electoral College. And this is where I think the election will probably end tonight. It may be something like this with North Carolina not being called. But I mentioned that again in my other video. You'll see the other video about how Democrats plan to cheat. Go look at that video. But the reason why I think North Carolina will be called is because I think it'll be a little bit more sound than Florida in terms of being called. So if they're going to call Florida, they can call North Carolina, even though it has the 6-day wait. I think it will come in the stronger numbers for Trump, and thereby they're going to just say, look, there's no realistic way that we can have enough votes to swing it. So I'm going to keep North Carolina at likely Trump, leaving us with just 2 states, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. In Wisconsin, there's no polling there really. And in terms of projections, I looked at Red Eagle Politics. He said he called it for Wisconsin for Trump. I'm not going to be that bold yet. I'm going to give it as a lean Biden, just to be safe, because to show you that he doesn't really even need it at this point. That's like gravy, okay? Minnesota or Wisconsin would be gravy, and even he wouldn't even need Nevada really if you took that out. So he is in good shape, but I'm going to leave it here as safe because of what's going on with the Hispanic vote and the black vote, and just is trending so heavily with Nevada. And not to mention Clark County down here, Nevada, from what I'm hearing is the labor unions aren't going to be there to do their voting before their shifts. And the labor unions don't have their power base because of COVID, and people are being locked down. And again, that's the reason why he could probably win states like, or at least get Virginia a little closer, because of the lack of colleges and that kind of outreach that happens. The ground game for Trump is really, really good. And so it comes down to Pennsylvania. I already said that he's going to win Pennsylvania, I believe. And so, but it won't matter. But I think at the end of election night, we'll see something like this, where Pennsylvania will not be called, maybe one other state, but I think it'll be apparent of who's going to win the election, because the Democrats are going to try their best to drag this thing out. And so with that, with 1 month later, I say Biden at 236 and Trump at 302. Hope this video was interesting. I hope you liked it. If you have any comments, do so below and let me know. If you'd like to support this channel, again, you can go to that join button and find out how to do that. If you like the content that we do with this channel, where we take culture, TV, movies, and politics and news and filter it to you the right way, then please click the like and subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any future content. So, all right, I hope you liked it. I will check you guys next time, and go vote.